Hey guys, it's me. Surprise, you clicked on my channel and it's me. Shocker. Anyways, today we're yapping in the car, which like, I'm sorry, but you clicked, you're here. Stay. Also, there's just water in here. I don't know why I had to clarify as if like somebody thought it was tequila or something. No. This is very off topic and we'll get to the point, but I've been watching the Final Destination movies recently and I just have to put this out there like on recording on the internet. If I'm going on a roller coaster and somebody's like, it's gonna crash, I am getting off. I'm sorry. Like, and I know everybody says that because it's like we saw the movie and we know how it ends, but like I'm getting off. I'm getting off. No, thank you. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. Oh, I'm not hungry. Like that's me with the roller coaster. Okay, but yeah, we're doing a little pre-college thoughts because, okay, a week from 2 days from now, a week from Friday, I leave for college and basically I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. And I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, sorry, and I'm going to UT Austin, so Austin, Texas, yay. And I'm scared. There's so much to talk about. I got questions from my Instagram, which is like, what's my Instagram, you know? It's at Enzo Antonio with 3 eyes. Remember that, type it in, follow me. I'm almost at 3,000 followers. Like I'm at 4,000 right now, but I'm about to like go under, you know? So like help me not be in a follower deficit. Not that I care about numbers. Q&A questions from my Instagram. Let's begin! Right off the bat, I got this question twice. What are you most nervous for and what are you most excited for? Okay, let's start with excited because like we have to start off with the positive. I am most excited to be independent and start a new chapter because I know I'm ready for it. Kind of. It clicked because seeing people from my high school who are still there, like they haven't graduated yet, seeing them post their schedules and just seeing the classes and the teachers there. It's not like my high school experience was absolutely awful, but just seeing that, I was like, oh, I cannot do that again. And that's when I was like, you're ready for college. But technically I know that I'm never going to be ready for it. So I kind of have to throw myself out there. So we're just going to do it. I mean, I'm going to have to do it because it's like, I'm enrolled and I have to go. I'm ready to start a new chapter and be in a new city and learn more about myself because I don't know, I feel like my self-perception stems so much from where I'm from and my room and my hometown, you know, that I'm excited to build a life. That sounds so dramatic, but just seeing how I am in an environment that's not my hometown and step out of my comfort zone to learn more about myself and my habits, my routine, what I like, what I don't like, and all of that, you know, it's kind of scary. And I know that me saying it, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm so ready, but of course it's gonna hit me in the face. But it's like, I'm not ready, but I'm kind of excited to be humbled. Like I'm excited to make myself think outside the box or just exist outside the box and do things that are out of my comfort zone and see how I adapt to it. What I'm most nervous for, like kind of the same thing. It's like I'm nerve-sighted. So funny. Okay, I'm most nervous to just be away from my room and my friends and my family. And I know I'm gonna make new friends there, but I'm also scared of that. Also, the coursework, the workload. The thing is, like, I was a good student in high school, but I'm scared about building like study routines. You know, I think that the learned helplessness is kind of a real thing where I'm scared about everybody thriving and doing so well in their classes and then me falling behind. You know, like I just want to do my best and enjoy education because I feel like for so long, especially when you get to upper level high school classes slash our APs considered college courses, whatever. When you get to upper level courses about stuff that you just aren't really interested in, it's harder to feel motivated. And so I think that I'm really scared about not being on top of things or just falling behind. But I want to try to be organized. I want to have my priorities in check. So I'm so thankful my priorities are in check. Manifested. This one was interesting. Have you ever thought of taking a gap year? So kind of on the opposite end of this. At the beginning of high school, I was really convinced that I could graduate in 3 years. It's not that that wasn't something that I was interested in, but I realized that applying for college would be a lot harder only having 3 years of things on my resume, you know? So I never did that, but I took a lot of APs in high school, so I'm coming in with a lot of credits for college, and I kind of want to graduate college in 3 years, which obviously I said the same thing at the beginning of high school, so we'll see how that ages. But right now I'm pretty set on that because obviously at a public high school, it's much easier to be like, okay, whatever, I'll do senior year. But when you're paying money, especially for an out-of-state school, obviously graduating in 3 years is a lot more appealing, but we'll see how that goes. In terms of gap year though, I don't think I'm gonna go to grad school. I thought about maybe getting like an MFA in something theater related, but also I'm hoping that with the degree that I'm getting, which we're gonna be talking about, that I'll still be able to do things for the screen and for the stage. We'll see. Okay, I threw this one in here, not really fully a question, but my APUSH, which is AP US History, and then my comparative government teacher in high school, she said a little question thing. She said, do wild, crazy, and uncomfortable things. Make all the memories. Queen. Guys, favorite teacher of all time. Like I'm not even just saying that. Genuinely the best teacher I've ever had. I love the part about do uncomfortable things because I think that pushing myself out of my comfort zone is something that in the moment is scary, but in the long term, you really thank yourself for moments where you acted outside of the box, you know? Because that's what makes us who we are. I'm being a little bit corny, but thank you for the advice. I'm gonna make all the memories. I will make you proud, I promise. This is interesting. What about your personality do you think is gonna change? I'm hoping that I'll learn to speak up for myself more. And that sounds a little bit dramatic, and I hate to always play like, oh, I'm the victim trump card, you know, because I think it's important to acknowledge moments in like friendships or in life where you're the not you're the problem, but where you maybe made a mistake, and then other times where you weren't treated right. I think that's all about balance. I want to learn to be more assertive in friendships and like maybe relationships, when we'll talk about that. Speaking of when things that make me uncomfortable happen, as opposed to just kind of bottling it up and then coping with it in unhealthy ways and then kind of projecting on other people, maybe, you know, stuff like that. So I'm hoping that my personality is going to be, you know, I like to be laid back and I like to be easygoing, but also to be more assertive and not be a pushover. That being said, I always do want to go out of my way to make sure that people are happy and comfortable and feel seen and heard. So that's something that about my personality that I want to expand on. You know, I think I try to do my best with that, but just being there for everybody and really feeling like I'm a support system for people and that that's mutual, but also learning that it's not always going to be 50-50 and you have to really put that past you and be there for people sometimes. I think that that's something that I'm really hoping. Like, I don't want to say that I don't do that now, but it's something that I hope to expand upon and make sure that I'm always embracing in college. Am I being corny? Let me know in the comments if I'm being corny, please. Okay, are you worried about fitting in / finding your people, Diva? Okay, Diva, let's discuss. Okay, fitting in is definitely something that's on my mind a lot, you know? I think just like being who I am, it's definitely not an unfamiliar feeling to feel like I stick out in some spaces or that I'm like different from everyone else. That sounds so corny. In terms of fitting in and stuff though, I know that I'm gonna find my people. Austin is such a creative city and I hope to find like-minded people. I'm hoping to find the artistic girlies and just befriend them. I am scared about the socializing part, but I do want to make sure that I am talking to everybody, not everybody, but like being out of my comfort zone and maybe somebody who I think typically we wouldn't click or something, or we don't have a ton of similar interests, to still be open to the possibility of getting to know them, you know what I mean? So I think the goal is to find people that share the same passions as me, but also people that I can talk to and learn about new perspectives and, you know what I mean? Okay, some of the other stuff that I want to talk about with this question is kind of related more to another question, so we'll circle back. Okay, friendships. This is a very broad topic. First, let's discuss current state of that. I feel like I didn't end off high school on a great note. I'm gonna be so honest. I feel like once again, kind of going back to not speaking up when I feel a little bit uncomfortable in a friendship. It's because I speak from experience. Like, I feel like there were so many times in high school, especially towards the end, or like just that last semester, you know, where I think I was so consumed by the idea of college that I wasn't necessarily present in what was going on around me. And that's something that I wish I did a better job at. And of course, there's still people here that I'm gonna miss so much. And I've been seeing them this summer a lot. And so there is a lot of friendship stuff that keeps me up at night. And really, I'm just like, damn. I think it's made me who I am. And I think now I'm going into college with such a new perspective on how to build friendships and how to make sure that that foundation is strong, because what I've learned is I think a good foundation is so essential for friendships, you know, because I think I've experienced scenarios, and this is not like trying to be shady or anything or just spilling tea on the internet. This is genuinely just my experiences. I feel like I've had people where we never were friends. I feel like we went straight to like best friends. And I don't know, for me, I feel like building up to a best friends level is actually so important for me. And I feel like there are people that you just click with instantly and you don't even remember not being their friends. Like, you kind of like you're always friends because that's just like how beautiful the friendship is. But I'm more talking about times where I feel like you don't spend as much time building that strong foundation and just learning to do activities with each other and learn to enjoy the chaotic moments but also the silence, and that we really can get to know each other and learn about each other before getting to that best friend status, because then I feel like those friendships are more sustainable and end up being way more beneficial for both people in the long term. So that's what I'm hoping to build out of that. I also am hoping obviously to stay in touch with my support system that I have built here and people that I can count on and feel like they can count on me as well. I'm hoping to maintain those friendships and obviously check in on people, you know, just going throughout my day. If there's somebody from my hometown that even if I live far away, if they're on my mind, to reach out and text them, or when I'm home or something, just to make sure that I'm not rotting my room and actually seeing these people and keeping up with these really important friendships. But I also don't want to hold any baggage from high school. You know, if something wasn't serving me in high school, it's probably not going to be something that's super sustainable in college, especially long distance. So just making sure that there's no bad blood, but also that I'm not watering a plant that's kind of dead. Oh, that kind of like hit hard. Okay, this one is T. Why film and not theater? So I'm actually going to get a BS, which is a Bachelor of Science in Radio, Film, and Television, or Radio, Television, and Film. I thought about minoring in public relations or advertising or something within music, but if you know me, you know I'm a huge theater kid. I did theater in high school, and theater is such a big part of my life and such a huge passion of mine. And I feel like similar to sports, it's kind of one of those things where if you don't go down that path, it's hard to be involved with theater. You know, obviously there's community theater and stuff, and the university non-majors guys can still audition. I've heard it's really hard to get in, but I haven't auditioned yet. Y'all haven't heard me. Anyways, film and theater are definitely intertwined. Film is so theatrical, and of course, knowing about both worlds and seeing what makes each world so special and like why they're different but also similar is so important. So I'd love to keep elements of theater present in all the work that I do in film. But for me, the reason why I'm not a theater major, like that BFA in theater, I don't think that's the path for me. I'm gonna be so honest, like I love to sing, I love to act. Dancing is so fun. But that being said, like I would love to be on Broadway one day. That's a crazy thing to be like, a musical theater major is not for me, and then be like, I want to be on Broadway. And I don't want this to sound close-minded, but I think that in terms of the roles out there for me, like I want to stay involved in theater, but I feel like the current state of musical theater is very belt heavy, very soprano focused, and just like lower female roles are hard to come by. And even when they are there, they're still casting mezzos. It's fine, guys. And if you relate to that anyway, I'm not saying that a BFA musical theater program is not for you, but I just think for me, I would have a great college experience if I majored in theater, but I think it would be the after college stuff that's a little bit like, ooh, but I'm still very passionate about film, and I could see myself having a long-term career in the film industry while still incorporating theater into that. So I think that's such a beautiful thing, and that's why I'm excited. I also love social media and stuff, so just being a film major within a communications program I think is going to be super cool, and just learning about all the ins and outs of the film industry. I also kind of feel like I'd be more interested in having film as a career but theater as a hobby, so hopefully I can keep both of those in my life and follow my passions. Okay, this is tea. Did you ever get into NYU? For reference, I actually applied to NYU last admission cycle, and I binded there, actually, meaning that if I got in, I would have had to go. And I ended up getting waitlisted, which turned out to be such a miracle. Like I truly believe like the universe was redirecting me there, because, you know, of course I sent a letter of continued interest and stuff, and for a while I was really still hoping for NYU, but I really fell in love with UT Austin, and I feel like it's a much better fit for me. I don't think I would have enjoyed NYU at all. And the following reasons, let me just say, are for me personally, and doesn't mean that if you go to NYU that I feel any sort of type of way about you. No, like if you go to NYU, like genuinely, Tisch School of the Arts, of course, is Tisch. So it's always going to be an iconic, well-established program, and so no hate to the school or anybody who goes there at all. But for me, one, financially, of course, NYU is a huge financial commitment, and I could see myself going there and having a great 4 years and then kind of coming out being like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, I'm broke. I don't think that I'm a good fit for NYU, because I feel like the types of students that they enroll, and this is once again not a jab at anybody, but it does seem a lot like kids who go to prep schools, you know, and private schools that basically you're set on going to a school like NYU or USC, whatever, from the get-go, and that's always the end goal. But for me, kind of realizing that that's not the goal for me, I think at a school like that, I would not thrive in a competitive art environment. Not saying that there's not going to be competitive film kids at UT Austin, like you're going to find those probably anywhere, but when money is brought into art and it becomes this huge thing about experience and who trained where and which school you took a class from, whatever, I feel like that just kind of ruins it for me. And I'm not saying that that's always what happens there, but I just want to be like at peace with making art and not necessarily always be in competition with people. I truly believe that a college is what you make of it, you know, and I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to myself if I was passing up an opportunity like UT Austin to spend so much money elsewhere when I know I'm gonna thrive at UT Austin. So that's why I came to that decision, even though they made the decision for me. Okay, NYU, literally, so I never got off the wait list. So all of that to say, I never got off. I did get something in the mail from NYU that was like, by the way, our system was hacked and we have evidence that your social security got leaked by a hacker. So I'm like, okay, so you're gonna waitlist me and then reject me and also leak my social security number. It's okay, guys, it's okay, I forgive you. Okay, this next question is deep. A lot of people, when I bring up that I'm going to UT Austin, have mentioned this, but do you feel safe in Texas being LGBTQ+? I think that's a really good question. I feel like that's important to talk about, so let's discuss. So I grew up around Raleigh, North Carolina, and North Carolina, it's a swing state, right? Like she's a little purple, you know, like she can go back and forth, right? Okay, but there are very red areas of North Carolina. In fact, there are a lot of red areas. Growing up near Raleigh, which is a majority of the time gonna be blue. Same with like Charlotte, Greensboro, Asheville. And I would say that Austin is kind of the same. Obviously, Texas is a very red state, but Austin doesn't necessarily align with that typically. And I'm not here to shame anybody's political views. That being said, the current political climate and just like the culture that we're in right now is very alarming to me. I do feel like we are going in a wrong direction, and there are so many groups that, you know, have felt a little bit on edge with this administration. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it and try to be all like, oh, neutral and all that, because once again, I'm not here to shame anybody's views, but as a queer person, as somebody in the trans community, I do feel safer in bluer areas, and Austin does align with that. So Austin is a very creative city, and queer people live in Austin. Okay, so I'm hoping that I'm still able to find some sort of community, and that's gonna bring safety. Of course, Texas as a whole, it is very scary sometimes to just see all sorts of things on the news. And access to healthcare is something that is a little bit of a concern for me, but not to be TMI, but the doctors of North Carolina have been consulted about this, and I feel safe with the guidance I was given and all that, you know what I mean? If you're a member of the community and you ever feel unsafe where you live, just know there are resources. I can try to link some down below. Even if it doesn't feel like it, there are people here to support you. So yes, just had to put that out there. Okay, sorry, I had to restart my camera, but I think that's all I wanted to say with that. But okay, yeah, I guess my final thought with that is that gender affirming care has been such a prevalent topic in the media, and everybody has an opinion about it, and it seems to be a huge debate for so many people. But I think when you realize that these bills and different legislation and all that has effects on real people, and it's not just a fantasy thing of, you know, a 5-year-old going in and being like, I want hormones. This is affecting real people in their everyday lives, just trying to get by. So yeah, that's my final thought on that. I hope some of that made sense. Next question, dating in college. Okay, this is kind of a switch up. Guys, if I get into a relationship, send help. I'm just kidding. I keep saying that, but I just don't feel like I'm ready for that. You know, maybe when I get to college, that could change at some point, whether that's freshman year or senior year. Like, I feel like I'm not there with myself yet to extend love to somebody else. Do you know what I mean? Because I want to make sure that if I'm getting into a relationship, that I can be the best that I can be in a relationship, you know? And of course, I feel like a lot of times it's about experimenting and putting yourself out there and going through new experiences. But for me, I just don't think I'm there yet. And like, I do think I need to learn how I am in a relationship though, because I do know that when it comes to like good morning texts and stuff, like I couldn't imagine somebody being mad at me for like not texting them good night. You know, like I feel like I like to live my own life and be myself, but also the whole concept of needing reassurance and stuff, like I don't even know how I am in a relationship, you know? So we'll see. I'm definitely scared of the dating world, I'm gonna be so honest. I do know that I have no interest in downloading dating apps or any of that. I know that it's not a totally negative thing and it's all about just putting yourself out there, but I don't think the dating app route is for me. Thoughts about living in a dorm. People keep telling me to be fun, but I'm so scared. I'm scared as well. Even little things like snoring. I'm like, what if I snore? I did order those nose strip things, I fear. Also singing in the dorm. Guys, in my house, I am loud. I like to sing. I do not have like a little light, low volume, like, voice. No, I like trying to sing at the top of my lungs. I like trying to make up random harmonies and then flopping, but then getting it the second try. But it's like, I can't do that in a dorm. If I go in the shower though and I'm like, shoot me down, but I won't fall, maybe I'll be scouted for an acapella group. My roommate also swiped up on this and said, hi roomie, hey girl. I'm excited. My roommate is so sweet and I think we're gonna click really well, so I'm not worried about that. I don't know who my sweet mates are though, so if you're watching this video and you know that I'm your sweet mate but I don't know this at the time, that's on partying. I feel very neutral about it. Like if it's a way to get to know people, cool. If it's a way to have a good time, yes. I want to be safe though, and I want to make sure that people around me are safe. That means checking in on your friends, covering your drinks, knowing your limits, and also acknowledging when your friends may be going about the limit and just making sure that they're okay, and not getting behind the wheel drunk or just intoxicated at all. Guys, I think that's it for this video. I think I brought up everything I wanted to bring up. Thanks for letting me yap. If you're starting college or university or whatever it's called where you are, let me know and just like how that's going for you, what your thoughts and feelings are, comments, questions, concerns. Of course, other people in the comments, feel free to hype each other up and give each other advice and talk about the things. So yeah, I'm honestly excited for this new chapter, and I'm excited for the YouTube channel to come along because this is my outlet. This is how I document my life. This is how we grow. This is how we evolve. This is how we succeed. This is how we fail. This is how we flop. This is how we thrive. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other thoughts, let me know. I post every Friday, so I'll see you next Friday for another video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!